Hi, my name is Professor Tabor and I'm based in Brisbane, Australia at the University of Queensland. Thrilled to have the opportunity to be the editor of the special issue entitled Ticks and Tick-borne Parasites and Diseases for the Parasitology Journal. The 17 articles of this themed special issue highlight the current research trends associated with newly discovered extinct tick species, concepts of tick evolution, new vaccinology approaches, factors affecting disease transmission, and factors affecting tick ecology and tick-borne disease epidemiology. Ticks are divided into three extant families: the Ixodidae or hard ticks with 731 to 742 species, Agacidae or soft ticks with about 216 species, and Nautilidae with a single species, Nautilla namaqua, which is limited to the Afrotropic region. This family has aspects of both soft and hard ticks and is described as the evolutionary link between these two large families. Ticks are mini vampires, where hard ticks feed for longer on their hosts for several days or weeks, and in comparison to soft ticks, which only feed for a few hours and tend to be found in nests. In this special issue, Lydia Katimia-Dobler and colleagues examined extinct Nautilidae species in Burmese amber, describing 8 new species comprised of 3 genera, Dinocotron, Legionaris, and Nautililia. They suggest that the distribution of Nautililia likely stretched from Africa over Antarctica and much of Australia before the rift with Burma 150 million years ago. Using mitochondrial genome and nuclear ribosomal RNA sequencing, Ben Manns and colleagues demonstrated that the Albianosis genus is paraphyletic and the Albianosis lahorensis is better placed in the Agacidae subfamily. Using similar methods, Abid Ali and colleagues described a new soft tick species, Ornithodorus pakistanensis, in the Pavlovskiella subgenus. Lydia Katimia-Dobler and team also identified a new hard tick species, Haemaphysalis donetsii, on falcons on a Greek island, which is the first such identification in this region. Lyme disease is transmitted by Ixodes scapularis ticks in the United States, and Richard Ostfeld and colleagues examined the effects of acaricide treatments on pathogen co-infection in 24 residential neighbourhoods. The use of fungal biopesticides showed co-infections of Babesia microti and Borrelia burgdorferi, which causes Lyme disease, were more common than single infections, and when using tick control bait boxes, the bias towards co-infections was eliminated. Dadek Simmer and team used a mouse model to demonstrate the nanomolar efficiency of the chemical fipronil against Ixodes ricinus ticks, blocking the transmission of the European Lyme disease pathogen Borrelia afzelii. Samuel Mangita and colleagues used metagenomic next-generation sequencing to identify for the first time phlebovirus in Rhipicephalus simus ticks in Zambia. The knowledge, attitudes and control practices of farmers in the Dar district in India was assessed by Mukesh Shakya et al. To mitigate acaricide resistance and tick-borne diseases, covering 200 livestock owners using a questionnaire. They concluded that 75% of the respondents were not aware of tick-borne diseases and that 36.5% showed favourable attitudes towards adopting tick control practices. Using the BME26 tick embryonic cell line, Bruno Moraes and colleagues targeted Rhipicephalus microplus aurora kinases using a pan-aurora kinase inhibitor and suggest that these inhibitors could be exploited for tick control methods. Talukta et al. Have demonstrated the emergence of Anaplasma marginale infections in commercial livestock and dairy farms in Bangladesh using ELISA, suggesting that a vaccination program may need to be introduced. Rebecca Butler and team investigated the relationship of livestock and wildlife for the transmission of Haemaphysalis longicornis ticks and concluded that farmer-controlled tick management strategies reduced the tick populations overall. In Europe, the spread of Ixodes ricinus ticks was determined using microclimatic and macroclimatic models. Ardu Kusuyitsu and Alkay Hekimoglu predict a significant expansion of Ixodes ricinus into northern and eastern Europe with declines in southern Europe. In Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, Hyalomma dromedari is the most abundant tick species, affecting primarily camels and to some lesser extent other livestock. Maximum entropy species distribution modelling uses species presence, land use, land cover, elevation, slope, and 19 bioclimatic variables to model current and future distribution of Hyalomma dromedari ticks. Nigat Paveen et al. Highlighted those areas in the north, east and southwest parts that are highly suitable for this tick species to evolved. Finally, Lisa Godino et al. Studied the ecology of one of the 12 native soft tick species Agassidae in Australia, Argus derwiae. This tick parasitizes several insectivorous bat species and has also been recorded on humans. Argus derwiae populations were monitored on 2 bat hosts at 3 sites in the southern state of Victoria in Australia for 28 months and showed that tick load increased throughout winter and peaked in the first month of spring before remaining low during late spring and summer, which in the future can guide tick management strategies. Renato de Souza and colleagues reviewed tick glycine-rich proteins and their functions, and they found that these proteins are present in all tick stages, and expression is modulated by physiological processes and immune challenges such as feeding and pathogen infection, highlighting their potential use as vaccine candidates. Maria Martina Esperanza Perez Soria and colleagues predicted fall rhipicephalus microplast chitinase peptides, and following immunisation of cattle, chitinase peptide 3 reduced weight and oviposition of the engorged ticks and reduced larval viability at 71% overall vaccine efficacy. Finally, José de la Fuente and Srikat Ghosh reviewed tick vaccinology, suggesting that tick organ recombinant antigens and chimeras could be designed using vaccinomics and quantum vaccinomics combined with multiomics, AI, mRNA vaccines, and microbiota-driven probiotics. In summary, ticks and tick-borne diseases affect humans, livestock, and wildlife in most regions of the globe. The 17 articles in this special issue cover a broad range of tick species and parasites, reflecting the diversity of ticks and tick-borne diseases globally.